But obviously, let's keep an eye out on what crude oil prices are doing as well. Early morning trade remained almost flattish as of now when you're looking at the crude oil prices. Brent crude oil, $78 per barrel mark is what Brent crude oil is trading at. Just moved into the green a short while ago as well. While WTI crude oil also quite flattish is what the move is coming in so far this morning for the oil prices. Now, obviously, these oil prices are a little bit of a move that we're seeing coming in. Nothing great, because what has happened is that everyone is just assessing the situation of the US Secretary Blinken actually going to discuss in terms of the ceasefire in the Middle East region, the Saudi de facto ruler as well, and that is one of the reasons that oil prices have remained a bit muted. I mean, just keeping an eye out on the situation. Not much of a move that we've seen in terms of the oil prices this morning. Other than that, let me just take across the gold prices as well. Gold actually hits the $2,043 per ounce mark as well. Little move in that front as well. So let's keep an eye out on gold prices. A bit of a positive up move is what we're seeing for the gold prices as of now. But yes, that's how overall being in terms of the commodities market moving, whether you look at the WTI crude oil, Brent crude oil, or the gold prices as well as Nehi.
Well, absolutely, Vinny. But let's talk a little bit more about the oil market then, because the Buffett-backed Occidental flagged supply shortages by the end of 2025 amid failure to replace current crude reserves at an appropriate pace. Now, the supply and demand outlook will flip by the end of 2025, says CEO Vicky Holler.
Okay, that's about oil, but a lot of important events and cues that we're keeping an eye out on as well. And obviously on the global front, we'll be watching out for the Euro retail sales numbers that will be coming out today. Other than that, let's watch out in terms of for dividend. If you do want to be eligible for dividend for Aarti Drugs, CMS Systems, GAIL, Kirloskar Pneumatics, Motilal Oswal, NTPC, Shriram Finance, then it's the last day to be able to buy the shares and be eligible for these companies for dividend. Other than that, in terms of corporate action, Tata Metallics amalgamation into parent Tata Steel, that will be effective from today. Let's keep an eye out on some of these other important events, in terms of the India Energy Week. That's going to be starting in Goa. PM Modi will be inaugurating that as well. So an important one to watch out for. So this is the key events that one is keeping an eye out on today.
Well, absolutely. And let's also talk about the top stories that we're tracking for you this morning. And the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which is the OECD, says that the elevated shipping costs stemming from the Red Sea disruptions could soon impede the global fight against inflation. Now, in an update for its forecast for major economies, the Paris-based OECD left its 2025 global estimate unchanged at 3.0%, when growth is expected to be boosted by major central bank rate cuts as inflation pressures subside.
And meanwhile, Minneapolis Federal Reserve President Neil Kashkari has said that the interest rates running at their highest level in about 23 years are not hurting the economy and could buy policymakers more time before deciding whether to cut rates. Moreover, added that the Fed policy is not as restrictive on growth as it appears to be on the surface of it.
However, on the commodities front, then UBS has released a bullish stance on gold and silver, forecasting a bull market in 2024, largely led by the likelihood of the Fed Reserve.
Liquidity challenges are a growing focus, according to the traders surveyed by JPMorgan. Around 27% of the traders see an inflation as having the biggest impact, followed by 20% for the November elections as well.